Keyboard spotting is a fun activity for a lot of people who are into keyboards. Seeing a keyboard on TV or in a film that I recognise makes me feel really pleased with myself. I've gone through the keyboard spotting wiki and found some of the ones that interest me. Last time it was the Kinesis ergonomic keyboard. This time I've decided to look at some old school terminals that have a stylish retro look about them and one keyboard pretending to be another. These are keyboards you might not instantly recognise unless you're into vintage stuff or are just very observant. The original Tron is such an iconic movie and is very much of its time. It seems to have aged really well just because of that. It captured the imagination of a lot of us who watched it as kids and dreamed about what it would be like to actually go into a computer game. In the scene where Flynn gets digitized and sucked into the computer, you can see a keyboard on the desk. Turns out that this is in fact part of a word processor, so probably not much use manipulating computer code. This is a Lexoriter, and it has another claim to fame in that it was used by Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, who owned 2 of them. It had 64K of RAM. 64K. Inconceivable. I've cobbled together what I think the layout looked like. There are only about 4 half-decent pictures of this thing on the whole internet, so I've had to guess at some of the key sizes. If you know more, please comment as I'm curious about the layout. The Thing, directed by John Carpenter, was released in 1982, and by all accounts, everyone hated it because it wasn't E.T. There are 2 points of interest for keyboard fans though, as an Apple II and an Intertech Superbrain appear in the film. For me, the Superbrain is the more interesting one. That name, Superbrain, makes you think you could stop a cell-assimilating extraterrestrial virus or something. The film shows one of the characters using it to model how the virus works and predict how long it will take for it to take over the world. The graphical prowess of the machine is kind of overstated, but there are some really clear shots of it. Split backspace, control on the home row, complete lack of respect for symmetry on the bottom row. It's practically an HHKB. I don't think I can remember any of the plot to Terminator 3, and I'm okay with that. However, there's a really interesting keyboard in that film that I'm sure I didn't pay attention to when I first saw it. This is actually part of a military control system for missiles. Someone even found the manual for it, which was clearly designed to be idiot-proof. On the keyboard, even the spacebar has a legend. With something like this, I can see why you'd want to leave nothing to chance. The designer of the keyboard layout has definitely taken some liberties with the placement of those special characters though. The square brackets just make no sense. Finally, a keyboard that has been dressed up to be something it isn't. Goldeneye is a rare movie in that the game is probably far more loved than the film, but it was one of Pierce Brosnan's best outings as Bond before it got a bit silly. In one scene, this interesting looking keyboard appears that at first glance looks like an Apple Extended 2, but no, look, there's a huge, totally authentic IBM sticker right there. Forget about the unmistakable font on the keycaps, and look at the distinctive command key there. No way they intentionally obscure the Apple logo. There are huge IBM stickers and other adverts all over this film, so it's not really surprising that they started putting them on things not even made by IBM. Model M was probably way too loud to actually use on set anyway. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at more keyboards of the silver screen. What's your most memorable movie keyboard? See you next time.